$10 for the first hour and $150 every hour after that, unless you want him to act like he's enjoying it.
Well, hello! Hi, and welcome to another episode of Secret Life of a Cam Girl. I am your host, Noah Bensi. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and I definitely want your opinion at the end of this if we should keep making videos like this. I don't know about format and stuff. I'm accepting constructive criticism. But today we are going to watch together my most viewed video. I think it has 75,000 views. It's how much a cam model really makes or something like that. And we're going to watch it together, see if the points are still valid, discuss, and yeah, just see if it still holds up. This video is really old, right? It's hold on, let me actually see. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, this video is from 6 years ago. And let's just see if it holds up. I know the landscape of the industry has kind of completely changed. It's so different now, especially with OF and everything being so prevalent. But yeah, let's watch the video together. I'm gonna scoot over because I think it's gonna pop up somewhere right here, and let's get started. All right.
What up, guys? It's No.
We're already off to such a weird start. Okay, so my editing skills have definitely gotten better. That music was hurt my earballs. I'm so sorry for anyone that was wearing headphones 6 years ago. And yeah, just everything. Let's get some roasts out of the way before we start. First of all, I feel like I look so different from 6 years ago. I look way healthier now. I'm happy about that. I don't know why I chose the Twilight filter. I don't know why I look like a corpse. Where's my pinks? Where's my colors? I really miss the furry wall. I loved that furry wall. I need to make a new furry wall. But yeah, cute. Crazy that was 6 years ago. All right, I lowered the volume a little bit. Let's see if it's better. And let's start again. We're probably gonna skip around too because I'm sure I rambled a lot. As I'm rambling now. Okay, let's start.
No, Bensi, and this is a super requested video. I get asked this all the time on every social media platform by everybody, even my mom, who dislikes me. So this is the age-old question of what do cam models really make? What is my pay really like? And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So this goes for everybody, but I'm just starting with brand new models.
I love my princess dress.
Everyone always asks me should I quit my job? Do I quit my job? And the answer is no, not yet. Don't quit your job yet. Whatever you do during the day, stick to it. You're a waitress for whatever you do, stay doing what you do, because how do I put this? By definition, camming is not exactly a business. There is no employer that helps pay for your sick leave or contributes to your retirement fund on top of your monthly pay, or there's none of that. So you have to be you have to protect yourself and invest and save. So whatever you make I think the first step as a new cam model is to use camming as a safety blanket. To schedule a time, maybe like on the weekend or on your days off. Those.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause for a minute. I think everyone knows why. The wording was a little bit off. The whole camming is not a business. Camming is definitely a business. I think at this point in my career, I was talking more on the lines of like the 9 to 5 kind of type of employment. But camming is 100% a business, obvi. It's a self business. It's like the same as if you were selling candles. Um, so I think the wording was a bit weird, but I think I explained it enough where like it kind of was in defense of the wording, because yeah, that's 100% correct. Like you really do have to, especially when you're brand new going into this, take into consideration that you're not going to be consistently making like $1,000 a day, a week, whatever, right out the gate. So you should not quit your job, and you should kind of just do camming consistently on your off days, um, for like an hour every night kind of thing to get that consistency going or whatever, and then quit your job if you choose to when stuff seems stable and when you have a little nest egg and all of that. Um, yeah, no, the wording was a little bit weird there, but it's fine. I think, like I said, it still kind of holds up because I think I like explained it correctly. But yeah. Definitely true though. Do not quit your job right out the gate. Some people like don't have jobs going into this. But yeah, do not quit your job right out the gate unless you already have a savings. Like if you already have a really good savings and you know you're going to be good for the next couple of months, I always tell cam models to give it like a 6 week kind of trial to see how you grow on a site. So like if you have enough money to hold you over for like 2-3 months and you want to quit your job and start camming, I'll be go for it. But like yeah, it's not, I think the better way of putting it, and not to just keep rambling, but it's not like, for instance, if you're a dancer and you like, you know how girls will be like, let's drive to Vegas and become dancers for a weekend and dance, and they leave that weekend with like a couple of grand and it was just some crazy time. Like I know that's more rare now because I know clubs are a little bit more strict, but like people used to do that, and like they still do that in certain states and certain places. And it's not like that. It's not dancer money. It's different. It's a whole different vibe, a whole different flow. So you have to look at it like that. You really need to build a fan base, unlike something like dancing where you can kind of just go in that weekend and come out like a baller sometimes, you know? Okay, so let's just go. I think I made it clear. Also, my computer is over here. I'm trying to watch it from the screen so I don't keep looking this way because I know that looks awkward. But if you see me looking that way, that's why. Okay.
The days that you cam, and you take your cam money and you put it away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, until you have that fan base. And I'm going to get all into that. But that's what I just wanted to, like, start with. This job is not forever. And though it can be very, very profitable, it is not 100% all the time. And even tippity top models have months or weeks or whatever times, periods, plateaus where money is just really, really shitty. So just keep that in mind. Use camming to fund a long-term goal, whether it be to put you through school or open a business, buy a new house, down payment on a car. Like, use it to support your dream, to fund your dream. You don't, camming is not for the person that, like, it's not forever. That's what I'm trying to get at. And even if you do have aspirations to become a porn star, you have to think about that, like, really quick. Like, what What is a porn star? To become a household name porn star, there's only a few that you can name off of the top of your head, being like somebody that doesn't know anything about the adult industry, like Jenny Jameson, Veronica Rodriguez, like people like that. Like those are household names now. You're probably not going to be that person. And I'm not trying to put your dream down. I'm just saying that just think realistically and prepare for that. So even in that aspect, even if you do use camming to get into porn, when you start making that porn money, save it. Because it is not forever. And then that brings...
Okay. That was a lot. All right. First of all, that was a lot. Okay. First of all, my outlook now is, depending on your situation, I feel like you definitely can make more money out the gate camming than just doing mainstream. Mainstream is still fairly hard to make it big in. I haven't done mainstream work in like 4 years, 5 years now. So like I can't really speak too much on the current landscape, but I assure you that it's it's difficult, you know what I mean, to still make it. That was a little harsh how I kind of put it, but it is very difficult to be like top, to get paid top. You have to be really, really good at advocating for yourself. But I will say you don't have to and almost shouldn't be doing cam before you do mainstream. The reason being is a lot of these like management companies and stuff kind of like want like the new, brand new, fresh, never before seen nude girl. That's a whole nother, we're not going to get into why necessarily, but that's a lot of times what they're looking for. Cam modeling puts you in like a different category. But it's not, I don't know, I don't think they don't correlate like that. It's hard to explain. Like they don't, it's not like you're a cam model and you're aspiring to be a mainstream porn star. Like that's not really how it works. I guess it kind of, like you kind of can do that, I guess. I don't know, that was just weird. I don't know like why I said it like that. That was just weird. I don't know. Let's just keep going. That's just strange. I don't know. Okay, let's go back to the talking corpse bride.
brings me to the all-around feeling competition from other top models. I get a lot of girls from like Tumblr, Instagram, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, girls that just see our lifestyle that are like, wow, like I want to be a cam model. Look, she has all this makeup. Look, she has all this stuff. Look at the house that she lives in. And that's great. That's absolutely great. But do not expect to have that off of the bat. This is not what this is whatsoever.
Okay, so we talked about competition and comparison and stuff in my last video. So if you haven't seen that video yet, definitely I'll put a timestamp, if I can remember how to do that, up at the top somewhere if you want to like watch that video about how like gatekeeping can be really toxic, how comparison can actually be beneficial but also toxic if you do it wrong. All of that I'm gonna put up in the timestamp. But I also touched like the glamorization of sex work a little bit. I feel like this is still kind of what's going on, especially with the rise of OF, where it's like these young, impressionable girls and guys are seeing these people online make all this money, buy their first house, buy their car, like retire early, like blah 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 blah, and they're like, I'm gonna do that. And they're like fresh out of high school and they start taking all these like lewd pictures and making an OF or starting to, like, you know what I mean, and then expecting to have that lavish lifestyle quite instantly. I've been in this for like 10 years now. I would not say that my life was lavish. Am I comfortable? Sometimes. I have money in the bank right now. I feel good right now, but like that's not always the case. I don't live in a mansion. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment that's severely falling apart. I'm about to move soon. That's nice. Like, I don't have a new car. My car is really old. I still drive the same car that I drove in high school. I yeah, you know what I mean? I don't have designer bags and stuff like that. My life is different. Everyone's life is different behind the scenes. So like where their money goes, how they make money, how they spend their money is going to be different as well. There's also the whole thing of like luck. Some of these people are just lucky. Luck is a thing, you know what I mean? Some of these people, they post and they blow up and they have all this money and their life is different. Like, that just happens, you know what I mean? And you can be that person, but you're probably not going to be that person. Because that's just the way it is. But yeah, I think you see all these people talking, especially with Dancer. I've been seeing this a lot on like on the Clock app, where like these like dancers will post like a night and they'll be like, and I made $4,000, and then you read all the comments underneath and it's all these like really young kids, like teenagers, like 13 and up, like these little girls, little boys being like, I'm gonna do this when I'm old enough. And it's kind of like cool for you, I guess, but no, like you really like, because I don't feel like your brain is not fully formed to like you're 25, you know, or older in some cases. So like you really don't have those decision making skills. It's not developed yet to really be able to foresee long term repercussions and outcomes of your actions. And that's why we're so scandalous in our 20s, because we're not really like thinking the same way we're thinking when we're 25 and older, you know? So this is funny because this was 6 years ago. This was when my brain wasn't fully developed, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, I can, it's funny. But yeah, I'm not saying it's bad because obviously I got into this industry fairly young. I'm not saying it's bad to do so. I'm just saying that this shouldn't, I don't know if I want to say it shouldn't be an aspiration when you're like 13, but like, you know what I'm getting at? I feel like you feel the taboo nature of it all. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely, part of me wanted to be in the adult industry when I was that young. I think from like the influence of like Girls Next Door and things like that were really glamorizing it. I think it was the same kind of situation as what I'm saying. And I think I don't I don't necessarily consider that good. I'm not saying that what we do is bad, but I feel like we're on the same wavelength with this where like you don't see the darker side, so you only see the bright side, and your brain's not fully developed, and then you just like you can get yourself in really messed up situations. I will definitely say that if I started in this industry when I was a little bit older, even if I was 24, 25, if I started then, I probably would have navigated and did things a bit differently. I don't have regrets, and I'm lucky for that, but I know more now, and I think that's really important. I'm able to advocate for myself more now. I'm more sexually experienced. Like the first time I saw my kitty Meow Meow up close like that was on cam. That shouldn't be the first time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just we're gonna move on. I think you're feeling me. Let's continue because this video is gonna be really long.
And just don't get caught up. Just, if anything, use them as inspiration. Use
What
them
did that
as
say?
whatsoever. Caught up. Just, if anything,
Honestly, you're better off stripping or something, just saying. Girl. Don't say that. Not that stripping's bad, but like in the context. Okay. I'm sorry, internet. Let's keep going.
Use them as inspiration. Use them as like.
Alright, we just talked about
Sabrina
this. We're
Nelly had
Oh, Sabrina.
save for taxes, budgeting their money, and that's what it is. Save for taxes, save for sick days,
Yes.
donate to charities.
Yes.
These are all things that will help you grow over time as a brand. You are your own business. It's like camming's not the business.
This is my brain clicking.
You're the business.
It's called a self-made business, girl.
You get me.
So funny. Okay. Definitely. Definitely save for taxes, save for sick days. I would say honestly, and it kind of sucks because a lot of these sites take about 50%. Sometimes you make more. Like I think OF you make 80. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Regardless, whatever you make, you definitely need to put aside a portion. I would say put aside about like 30 to 40% of what you're making. And I know that seems like a lot, but it definitely will help you in the long run as far as your taxes that you're going to have to pay. Because yes, you do pay taxes. And like if you're sick, if you need a vacation, if you need a day off, all of that stuff, like you're going to want that savings. So it's going to be really, really enticing when you're new and you start making money and you have all this money and you're like, yes, and you're going to want to go shopping and go shopping, do your thing, but make sure you're putting away money as well. That's really, really important. Just in general, just to keep in mind. But everyone always asks like, how much should I put away? I would say like 30 to 40%. I would say 10% is going to go to taxes. And then like, I would say you should put another 20% away for like sick days and just savings in general. Because that's definitely something that I messed up with in the beginning. Like I did not save money how I should have. And I definitely took a lot of money and big paydays for granted and spent it and thought like, oh, I have money, and like didn't put any away. And then that ended up biting me in the booty like later down the line. Like I definitely should have more money in savings right now if I planned better, and I don't, is what I'm saying. So don't be me. All right, let's continue with this madness.
Now I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. The number one moneymaker of all time, the thing that will make you super rich and give you the lifestyle that you want, is consistency.
It's true.
I know you're rolling your eyes at me. Like, what does that mean? Consistency. That just means that, honestly, have a schedule. Stick to your schedule. This way, your fans and that, or 102 fans or whatever, Vixen, Dom, or a badass chick or whatever, like billion fans, you become a part of their life.
Okay, sorry, I wanted to skip around because, okay, so I go on to say that, like, we've talked about consistency before. Often we talk about consistency. It is so important. I'll just reiterate it in short. What I mean and what many of these other models that are giving advice mean by consistency is, like I said, the 6-week rule. Get onto a schedule, choose a time, choose a couple of hours, however you want to do it, fit it into your life. Get onto a schedule and then consistently do that schedule for 6 weeks straight. Obviously, you can take off a couple of days, like if you got your period or something. But in general, you know what I mean? Like, take off, like, make sure you are consistent. And that is really what's going to, like, build your fan and your fan base. And I go on to say, like, because people will start planning their life around you. So, like, if they know you're going to be online at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, they know that, okay, when I get home from work at 5, I'm going to eat dinner, I'm going to shower, and then Noah is going to be online. And they can, like, save money, they can make sure they're there, because it's all about views, it's all about tips. Obviously, you want, when you go on, you want your time to be lucrative. You don't want to just be sitting there not making money, not getting tips. So you want to make sure these people know that you're going to be there. If it's easy to do like a weekly schedule, like every week it kind of changes up, try to post your schedule on like a Sunday every week, and like pin it to your profile or something, and then stick to that schedule. Try not to be late, and then you can change it up. Sometimes I find that's better because it's hard to plan out like a month in advance for me. But in general, that's what I mean by consistency, and that's why it's so important. Let's figure out what I'm about to say in this next part and watch it. I'm gonna try to like be a little bit faster because I know this video is getting long. But I feel like it's important, especially because it's my most viewed video, to like dissect it and all of that. All right, let's go. Where is my mouse? Okay.
So consistency is acting, because you don't want to mess up someone's life.
Yeah. Okay.
So that doesn't even matter whether you have 200 followers on Twitter and like a billion fans, or 102 fans or whatever. It's those bonds that you create, the persona that you project on cam, whether it be a vixen dom or a badass chick or whatever you do, the bonds that you create on cam are what is super, super important and what's going to make you a lot of money. Like, those are the people that you're like, that are going to feel like they know you. You know what I mean? Your goal is making those connections and making those bonds and making those people feel comfortable. That's your goal. So you create a fan base or a list of just people that have your back, so you know you.
This is so true. It definitely like comes and goes. Like, I have fans that I don't necessarily talk to that told me they were going to be there forever, type of thing. It's fine. But regardless, like, yeah, I have fans that I've been talking to since like I started. And I love them. And they still come through for me, and they're still there, and they still support me, and it's absolutely amazing. Those bonds are so important. Just to like have just people in your corner. And also to create a space that's safe for people. It feels really nice to know that you can create that space for a group. Like, yeah. Aw, I love my supporters and my fans so much. I really do.
You can make that consistent money.
Yeah.
And once you have this, and once you feel comfortable, and
okay, I will say though, the consistent money connected to the bonds is true and also untrue. Obviously, people's lives change, especially when you have fans for like a lot of years. So, you know, sometimes like someone that was tipping you a lot, let's say for a couple of years, like their life's gonna be different. You know, they're gonna get married, they're gonna lose a job, they're gonna get laid off, a pandemic is gonna hit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah.
once you have, let's say, like X amount of money coming in during the week, that is when you are the only person that can say, okay, it's time for me to quit my side job. It's
all right, we talked about this.
On cam 7 days a week. Like, 7 hours a week isn't going to put you anywhere. Like, unless you're already famous somehow, and I don't know about that. It's not going to get you anywhere.
Okay, I definitely agree. What I was saying here was like camming for only an hour a day is not going to get you anywhere. I don't think it's not going to get you anywhere, but it's going to definitely get you there slower. I definitely believe in the beginning to put in as many hours as you possibly can handle. Obviously, don't overdo it. Know your limits. Pull back if you need to. But I would say, like, your first hour, even for me right now, is, like, people are, like, noticing you're online, like, kind of, like, getting their shit together. So your first hour is always a little bit slower than your second and your third. So I would say put in at least 2 to 3 hours minimally. If you can do more, do more. I like to do 8 hours a day and then do, like, 4 and 4, like, 4 in the morning, 4 at night. Sometimes that goes down to 6, so, like, 3 in the morning, 3 at night, or 4 in the morning and 3 at night. Um, like I mess with it like that. I do like camathons, which is like when you do a bunch of hours all at once. Sometimes I'll do 12-hour days. I'll do 6 and 6, and take like a little break in between. Those are definitely hard. Those are like on my big hustle days or like whatever. I haven't done one in a minute. I should probably do a real one like in the near future because they are fun sometimes. But regardless, yeah, that's what I was saying there. Like it's definitely gonna get you there slower. So the most hours you can handle, the better. As far as especially when you're first starting out, when you get more established, and you have other like revenue coming in. Let's say you have your OF, you have your MV. I don't know what I can say like site wise on here, so I'm trying to be careful. But you have like your clip site, you have like all your stuff coming in, things are getting a bit steady, and you want to lower your camming schedule, go for it. Then you can kind of pull off only a couple hours a week, and like it's not that big of a deal, because you became more established. But in the beginning, yeah, definitely put in as many hours as you possibly can.
When I say this, and that's why I'm kind of like rolling my eyes right now because I don't want to sound like a bitch because I'm still friends with these customers to an extent.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Whatever. And they're going to come into your room. I had a customer recently that used to visit me every day, every morning.
Oh, I talk about how they're not always consistent. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Okay.
It was just like really weird. And after a while, just sit in your room and say hi. And even though they're super nice and food, and now you just missed out on like a private who aren't even tipping you, and someone with money is waiting for your conversation to be over because they're trying not to be rude.
Okay, so what I'm saying there is sometimes you get people that will be really friendly and sweet, and they're probably amazing people IRL, but they really just want someone to talk to, and they're not going to be tipping you a lot. And I'm not saying be mean to these people or kick these people out unless you feel like you are being taken advantage of. That's different. But in general, like just make sure you're giving the other people in your room attention, because they're going to be obviously the ones that are going to be your big tippers and stuff like that. And just don't get like caught up in like crazy conversations and ignore potential real tippers. Nothing's wrong with having those conversations, because at least on the site that I'm at, the more that's going on in chat, the better. Like it shows that your room is active, so I don't mind having like full-on conversations with that, because it is valuable to me, but it's also not as valuable as maybe like ignoring somebody. So make sure you're saying hi to everyone, make sure you're acknowledging the people that say hi in chat, even if that means in the middle of what you're saying to be like, oh hi, and then like continue what you're saying. But yeah, definitely give everyone in your room equal attention, and be wary, I don't know if that's the word, of people that might want to take advantage of just your time because they're bored. And there's not like, I'm not trying to be mean to those people. It's just that this isn't just a chat site, like this is my job. Yeah.
And now you just missed out on like a private, okay. But like they don't give me money. Months and knows what she's kind of doing and has a little bit of a fan base going and has her shit in check, because when you first start,
I'm still confused why I'm dressed really so fancy in this like video.
$500 one day and like hit the next, and then I was like, what happened? And just, you know what I mean? So that's what you have to take into account when you're new. You can't always trust it. So now that things are consistent and things are better.
Definitely a little tip is try to have a weekly goal and not a daily goal per se. It depends how you work. If your brain works with the daily goal better or whatever. But what I mean by that is because of the ups and downs of the industry, one day you might make like $2,000 and the next day you'll make 100. The next day you'll make 20, and then the next day you'll make 2,000, and the next day you'll make 1,000, the next day you'll make 500, and it's all wonky woo. So I try to like gauge my budget and my planning around my weekly goal. So every week in my head, I have like a number I want to hit. And that will kind of influence, or not kind of influence, that will influence how I like do my schedule and everything, depending on how much I need and stuff like that. And if you do have a really big day where you make like $1,000, keep going. I know it's really hard because like you made your goal, or you made a lot and you're like, oh, I can like take a, no, keep going. Like I've said this in my older videos too, like ride that wave, keep going. It's really hard because you want to leave, because you're like, I don't have to be here now, but you do have to be there because you don't know, because one day you might make $20, you know, so keep going.
And you know what's going on. This is what happens. So I would say on average,
oh, we're getting some money now.
I say average because by definition, on average, the amount of money you should make an hour should be anywhere between 65 and 150. I know that's a weird joke. It's like $100 joke. But like, yeah.
Okay, so what I mean by that average, and I think there are some comments below that were like upset with me about this. Like again, I'm taking from like a weekly average. So I'm taking my goal for that week and then I'm breaking it down into hours. You understand? So like, I'm really bad at doing math in my head, but like I'm looking at the average number that I make consistently throughout the weeks per hour based on my goal. I hope that made sense. So yeah, I still agree. It still kind of ranges on a like normal day between like 70 and 150 an hour. It can be more and it can be less, and like again, that number is taken from the overall week, because sometimes like I'll only make like $20 an hour, and then the next hour I'll make like 200, the next hour I'll make 1,000. I don't know, I'm just making up numbers now, you know what I mean? So like it's kind of different. I'm averaging out, I'm doing the math, and I'm breaking it down on that level. But it is different for everybody. And yeah, I think I would call myself, I don't want to call myself mid, but I would call myself like mid as far as like, I feel like I'm a good base for like how much you make as an average person type of thing. Because you have the, like I said, you have the one spectrum of the side where like the girl is a baller, she's a rock star, she's making like $4,000 an hour, she's top 3 on MFC, she's top 0.5 on OF, you know what I mean? You have that spectrum, and then you have the other side that are making like $5 an hour and are very upset and are wondering what's going on with the world. So I feel like I'm right in the middle, so I feel like that's still a good number. I think if you're making anywhere between, like I said, 70 to like, what I say, 70 to 150 or something, whatever, an hour, you're doing good. You're doing good, girl. You're doing wonderful. Especially if you have other revenues coming in. So if you're making that on Cam, but you also have, like I said, your clip site, your fan site, and other things going on, making that amount, you're set, girl. That's good. That's good. So I agree with that.
Like 65. Yeah, 65 hour. You might like divide it by the amount of hours you worked that day. I would say you're doing well.
Okay, so this is when I was doing my
work that day.
Okay, so look, if you look at the bottom, it says my minimum daily goal is 330. So my week is 1,600, 5 days a week. So now I kind of do that a little bit backwards, because I found that it was better for my mental health, because some days like are just crappy and you're not making that, and then to push yourself to try to make that 330 and then to go to sleep and like I didn't make goal is not good for your brain. So I'm still a firm believer in like breaking down that weekly goal. So again, that all makes sense. That's kind of like what you're aiming for, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, Yeah, do it bi-weekly and not daily. If you're someone like me that gets really anxious and like beats themselves up about not making goals and stuff, it's better to have just like a weekly aim and then do what you can during the week and then figure it out from there than to like go crazy over your daily goal. But yeah, so I broke it down.
I would say you're doing well if you're averaging 65 to 150 an hour. Nothing?
I agree.
Get out, like,
I still agree.
make as much as you can, like, ride that.
This is what I'm saying. If you have a good day, ride that wave.
Mad money, let's say, like, in the morning, like, I would make, like, $400 in the morning. And then I would, like, spend the whole day doing nothing. And then not make it online for the rest of the day. Like, don't do that shit.
Yeah, don't do that.
And there will be lots more Secret Life coming your way.
Okay, so I still fairly agree with that video. We've been talking about it for like 40 minutes now. But I still agree with that video. I don't feel like much about it was wrong or like really changed too much. I will say though that I'm actually happy the direction that the industry has taken as far as like how we have all of these other forms of revenue now. It can be overwhelming, but at the same time, like, they're so awesome, and when you get a handle of them and can add another, like, you're just making more, and it's really good. You just have to be kind of good at juggling. I would say start small and then see what you can handle and grow from there as far as joining all these sites instead of just like joining them all at once and then like trying to keep up with everything. That can be really stressful as well. I took a break from OF like a year ago because like it was getting really hard to juggle and I wasn't really making a lot on there at the time. And now that I can juggle it, like things are back to normal and like it's nice. So yeah, don't overwhelm yourself, but I just think it's really cool that there's like all these other forms of things that you can do other than just cam. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I was gonna put up screen grabs. I'll see if I can find them. If I can find them, I'll still put them up. Let me actually close this down real quick. Hold on. If I can find them, I'll still put them up. But it was just like showing how like wonky the weeks can be sometimes. And I just took a couple of screen grabs of like some of my random weeks just so you can see how weird it is and the inconsistency of a week, let's say. If I still have them, I'll put them here and you can just check them out, because it's just like to show that like I said, sometimes you make a little, sometimes if I don't have it, I'm just gonna look funny going like this, but sometimes you make not a little, but like sometimes you don't make a lot and sometimes you make a ton, like, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, I absolutely love you. If you guys like these commentary reaction videos to my old popular videos, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you want to see a video, like you want to see me react to a video, one of my old ones, let me know the video. I'll react to it. But yes, definitely looking for some feedback. Definitely looking for your comments down below. This video had a ton of comments, some negative, some positive, but overall positive, so I'm happy about that. Like the old video. Yeah, and we'll do some more exploring the classics content. Like I said, I never know how to end these. Please like, subscribe, comment, show love, follow on social media, follow and subscribe to my friends. Everything will be down in the description. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And yeah, keep going. Keep doing it. You're doing a good job. I'm proud of you.